The self-improvement internet has a formula. Wake up at 4 a.m. Cold shower. Meditate for 20 minutes. Journal. Run 5 km. Read 30 pages. All before 7 a.m. And if you're not doing all of that, you're falling behind. Here's the reality for most men watching this. You have a job, maybe school, you train, you have responsibilities. You are already running a full schedule. And the idea of stacking 5 more habits on top of a life that already has no slack doesn't make you better. It makes you exhausted, guilty, and eventually it makes you quit everything. Here's what nobody in that space wants to admit. You don't need to add more to your life. You need to remove what's destroying it. Because the time, energy, and mental clarity you need to level up, it's already there. It's just being stolen from you every single day by habits you haven't eliminated yet. Today, I'm breaking down exactly what to remove and what you get back when you do. Smash like, subscribe for more Sigma Mindset content, and let's get into it. Let's reframe how you think about self-improvement. Most people think of it as addition. Add a morning routine, add a new skill, add a workout, add a book, add a side hustle. Maurice. But a full glass cannot hold more water. If your day is already packed, and most people's days are, adding more doesn't create growth. It creates overwhelm. The smarter move, the one that actually works for men with real lives and real responsibilities, is subtraction. Find what is taking up space that shouldn't be there. Find what is stealing time you could be using for something real. Find what is draining energy that your goals actually need. And remove it. Not gradually, not I'll cut back a little. Remove it. Because every bad habit you eliminate doesn't just stop doing damage. It returns something to you. Time, energy, mental clarity, willpower, focus. Resources you already had that were being quietly stolen every single day. Remove 1, phone addiction and short-form content. This is the biggest time thief in most men's lives and the most underestimated. The average person spends 3 to 5 hours a day on their phone. Read that again. 3 to 5 hours every day. That is not relaxation, that is not rest, that is not a reward for hard work. That is your goals being consumed in real time, scroll by scroll, while you feel like you're just taking a break. Short-form content, Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, is specifically engineered to be as addictive as possible, designed by teams of engineers whose entire job is to make sure you do not stop watching. And it doesn't just steal your time, it fragments your attention. After an hour of short-form content, your brain struggles to focus on anything for longer than a few seconds. Deep work becomes almost impossible. Reading feels slow. Building feels boring. You have already trained yourself to need constant stimulation, and anything that doesn't deliver it instantly feels like torture. What you get back when you remove it, 2 to 3 hours a day minimum, restored attention span, the ability to do deep, focused work that actually moves the needle. 2 to 3 hours a day is 14 to 20 hours a week. That is a part-time job's worth of time, returned to you just by putting the phone down. Remove 2, adult content. This one connects directly to energy, drive, and motivation, and most men don't make the connection until they've removed it. Adult content triggers the same dopamine flooding that we covered in the dopamine baseline video. It creates artificial peaks that make real life, real ambition, real attraction, real connection feel flat and underwhelming by comparison. The man who consumes it regularly often finds himself demotivated in ways he can't explain. Low drive, low energy, difficulty focusing, a subtle but persistent flatness that follows him through the day. That is not a coincidence, that is chemistry. Removing it doesn't just free up time, it restores the hunger. The drive to pursue real things, real goals, real relationships, real challenges. That hunger is the fuel for everything else on this list. Protected. Remove 3, junk food and alcohol. These two drain you in ways that go far beyond the obvious. Junk food, high sugar, high processed carbs, low nutrition, creates the energy crashes we already covered. The 2 p.m. slump, the brain fog, the inability to think clearly in the afternoon. You are not tired because you worked hard. You are tired because your fuel is garbage. Clean up the diet, not perfectly, not obsessively, but meaningfully. More protein, more real food, less processed noise. The mental clarity you get back is immediate and significant. Alcohol is more subtle. Most men don't think of themselves as having a drinking problem. A few drinks on the weekend, a beer after work, no big deal. But even moderate alcohol use disrupts sleep quality, suppresses testosterone, blunts motivation the following day, and quietly eats into the discipline you built all week. One night of drinking doesn't just cost you that night. It costs you the next morning's focus, the next day's energy, the workout you half-assed because you weren't quite right. The compound cost of regular drinking, even casual drinking, is far higher than most men calculate. What you get back when you remove or significantly reduce both: sustained energy, sharper thinking, better sleep, more consistent training, and a discipline that doesn't get undermined every weekend. Remove 4, smoking. This one is straightforward, but worth saying clearly. Smoking doesn't just damage your lungs. It reduces cardiovascular capacity, meaning every workout you do is harder and less effective than it should be. It lowers testosterone over time. It disrupts sleep. It creates a chemical dependency loop that pulls your focus toward the next cigarette instead of the next goal. And it costs money that could be building something. There is no version of a fully optimized man that includes a smoking habit. Not because of aesthetics, because of what it costs physically, mentally, financially, and in terms of the self-discipline it undermines every time you give in to the craving. Remove it, not tomorrow, as soon as possible. What you get back: lung capacity, cardiovascular performance, money, and the self-respect that comes from not being chemically dependent on anything. Remove 5, toxic social environments and negative media consumption. This one is less obvious, but the drain is just as real. The group chat that's always complaining, the friends who mock ambition and call it being realistic, the news cycle consumed for hours without purpose, the content designed to make you angry, anxious, or outraged. All of it costs you something. Energy, mental clarity, optimism, the belief that building something is worth it. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and a man who fills his mind daily with negativity, cynicism, and low-value social noise is running on empty before he even starts. Audit your inputs ruthlessly. Who and what are you allowing into your mental environment every day? Because your mindset, your drive, your belief in what's possible, your emotional baseline is directly shaped by what you consume and who you surround yourself with. Protect it like it matters, because it does. Here's the reframe that ties all of this together. You do not need more hours in the day. You need to stop leaking the ones you already have. The man who removes phone addiction gets back 2 to 3 hours. The man who removes adult content gets back his drive and hunger. The man who removes junk food and alcohol gets back his energy and mental clarity. The man who removes smoking gets back his physical performance. The man who removes toxic environments gets back his belief and focus. None of that required waking up at 4 a.m. None of it required adding a single thing to an already full schedule. It required subtraction, discipline, the willingness to stop tolerating things that are quietly costing you everything. The version of you that already trains, already works, already has responsibilities. Give that man clean fuel, protected time, and a focused mind. And watch what he builds. You don't need to become a different person. You need to stop sabotaging the one you already are. So here's your removal list, the habits to cut before you add anything new. 1. Phone addiction and short-form content. Get back your time and attention. 2. Adult content. Get back your drive and hunger. 3. Junk food and alcohol. Get back your energy and mental clarity. 4. Smoking. Get back your physical performance and self-discipline. 5. Toxic environments and negative media. Get back your focus and belief. Pick one, just one. Remove it this week. Completely, not less of it, remove it. Feel what comes back. Then move to the next one. In 30 days, you will have more time, more energy, more focus, and more drive than any morning routine could have given you, without sacrificing a single hour of sleep. Like this video, if it made self-improvement feel actually doable. Subscribe and turn on notifications. More practical, real content every week. You don't need to add more to your life. You need to stop letting the wrong things take from it. Start removing, start reclaiming. I'll see you at the top.